to my channel. Today I'm going to be bringing you guys a video on how I created this makeup look right here. This is going to be a quick makeup look. You don't need a lot of technical skill to do it. This is more for the everyday woman who has limited time to sit there and put a full face together. But I'm going to show you guys how you can create this look in limited time and with really affordable products. So I've already started by putting my primer on. I used the Rimmel Long Lasting Primer all over, and then I went in where my pores are quite open with the Maybelline Baby Skin Pore Eraser. And I just use that where I'm open, I just use my fingers to push it in, and it sort of smooths out my skin. So whether you're wearing makeup or not, I recommend you put something on your lips. Just something as simple as pore ointment. There's nothing worse than crusty lips. So I'll quickly throw some of that on. If you get really dry lips like me, another thing you can do is use exfoliating makeup wipes, and you can just use that on your lips. Or Jeffree Star has the lip scrub as well, and that's really good. I've tried that, I've run out of it at the moment. I need to get some more, and they smell amazing as well. So they really get rid of any dry skin on your lips, and it just makes your makeup look so much better. Next thing I'm going to do is use the Maybelline Strobing Liquid. I'm going to use that over my primer. I don't like to use liquid highlighters because it goes over your powder and it just doesn't mix. So the next thing I do to get a nice glow to my skin and look put together is just put a little bit on my finger. Yes, on my finger. Not on a brush. And I just put it all over my cheekbones just to make me look really hydrated. My skin has been quite dry lately. I have not been looking after it. Okay, so the next thing we have to do to be put together nice and quickly to get out the door is to do your brows. So I'll quickly put mine on. I'm just using the designer brand's blonde pencil, and I just quickly shape them, and then I fill them in with a powder and a brow gel. So that's just the pencil filled in. Now I'm going in with the Mark Beauty Blonde powder. It has the gel and the powder. I just use the powder at the front just to give it a little bit more definition and to help set the pencil. But everyone does their brows differently. This is just a quick get ready with me on how I get ready in under 5 minutes. Obviously it might take a little bit longer because I'm talking to you guys. The next step is to get your concealer. My favorite concealer from the drugstore at the moment is the Maybelline Age Rewind, but because we're doing it nice and quickly, I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible Total Cover because it is not as heavy as a concealer, but it does have really good coverage. Because we're doing a day-to-day makeup, we don't want to go too heavy, even though I still wear a lot of makeup day-to-day, let's just be honest. And that's that. So now I'm going to go back in with the same foundation, and I'm just going to do my eyelids as an eyelid primer. So I'm just going to get my little beauty sponge. It is a bit stained, so don't judge me. And I'm just going to do right on my eyelid. You can use your fingers. Sometimes your fingers work really well because of the heat. It actually melts the product straight in. So it looks more natural and doesn't look as cakey. I've just been trained to use sponges and brushes. But you just use what you have at home. Then you need to go in with a setting powder. So I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. And I'm just going to quickly dust it over my eyelid just so that we don't get any creasing, and to give it a nice even base to apply our eyeshadow. So the trick to getting your makeup done quickly and getting out the door quickly is to not go too crazy. What I suggest for everyone at home is to grab yourself a sort of just a nude palette. This is the Napoleon Ultimate Nudes palette. I've had this for years. This used to be my day-to-day palette, and this is great to get you out the door, just to give you a little bit of definition on the eye. It has no shimmers, it's all mattes. So the first thing I would do is to go, you can see which ones are obviously my favorite. I would go in with a light shade. So this is just an off-white. So just tap in there and just go all over the lid, just as a base. So just tap it on. Try not to sweep too much when you're doing your base, even though we've set with the powder. Just try and quickly tap it on, because you don't want to move what's underneath. The next thing I would do is to grab a big fluffy brush. This is actually an Avon brush, like an old school Avon brush. And I would go in with this color right here. It's sort of a warmer brown, I would say. So I just put my brush in there, tap off the excess, and just go in the crease. Just quickly, a little wash of color. You can take this up quite high because it's not too dark. And then I would go in with the warm color here, just try and get right in the crease, just with the same brush, because you don't want any harsh lines. So that just gave me a little bit of definition on the eye. That was nice and quick. It'll get quicker the more you do it. I can actually do it with my finger. I shouldn't even say that. Okay, so the next color I will use is just this pale yellow. And I would use this more just to brighten the lid. And I'll just tap this on here. Just about 3/4 in. This is a really nice formula, so it does blend itself quite easily. Okay, just to open up the eye a little bit. And that's your eyelids done. That's simple. The next step is our base, and I'm not going to go in with the full coverage Infallible from L'Oreal because it's quite matte and I want something with a bit more glow. So I'm going to use my favorite foundation, which is from The Ordinary. This is a really affordable product and I highly recommend it. You can get it for dry skin and oily skin. I think it's about $7 on Beauty Bay, and it's probably the best foundation I've ever used. So you don't need much. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand. Okay, so you can either use your beauty sponge, you can use your hands. There's nothing wrong with that when it's your face. Sometimes that works better because of the heat from your fingers. And if you want to be quick, today I'm going to use a Morphe brush. So I'm just going to dip it in and quickly just go in and put it everywhere. This is a very buildable foundation. I would say it's medium coverage, but buildable to full. Keeps your skin nice and glowy. Okay, so that's your base done. If you feel like you're quite dark under the eye, you can always go in with a concealer, but because we're trying to just get out the door, I don't feel it's necessary day to day. And because that foundation does have a lot of color correction in it as well, I feel like it does camouflage my dark circles, so we're not going to do that today. So the next thing you need to do is you always need to set your liquid with a powder. So you can either use a loose setting powder like the Laura Mercier, or you can use something, this is quite pricey, or you can also use a pressed powder. So this is the Maybelline Fit Me. I'm going to use that today just because I want to show you that drugstore products are really good, and you don't need expensive products to create a beautiful look. So I'm going to use this brush today. It is a older brush. It's from Napoleon's NP set. I've had this brush since I started doing makeup and it has outlasted most of my brushes, and this was only about $20. They don't sell it anymore, but it is just a flat top and it's quite dense, so I use this for my powder. So I'm just gonna put it in and then just go over my skin, not too much. I used to use a lot of powder just to look really matte, but that's not what's in anymore. So just quickly dab this on. Never swipe, always pat, otherwise you're gonna move your base. And that's that, that's done. Okay, so now we're on to the next step. We've got our base done. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with a light contour, some bronzer, highlighter, and maybe a little bit of blush. So we're gonna do it really quickly. We're not gonna try and chisel our face because we just wanna get out that door. So we're gonna use the KKW Beauty Powder Contour and Highlight Kit. To start our contour, we're gonna use this shade here, and I'm going to use a matte brush, just a little angle brush. I find this is really nice to get a nice chisel. And we're just gonna go lightly on the cheekbone.
So try not to get under the cheekbone.
So everyone's face is different, so don't contour the same as me. Find where your cheekbone is and actually do it on the cheekbone. Don't go below the cheekbone because it will bring your face down. So just do it slightly on top, like this. Okay, and remember, we're not trying to chisel the face, we're just getting a little bit of definition. I'm gonna put a little bit of contour here just to create a little bit of a shadow. I'm going to quickly run it just down the side of my nose. Just like that, all done. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to dip into this bronzer shade here, and we're just gonna use a big fluffy brush. We're just gonna swirl it around and just quickly throw it on the top, just to warm the skin up a little bit. Okay, and you can take this all around your edges. Again, just to warm the skin up. Take it down the neck. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the Maybelline Master Blush Palette. You can get this at Kohl's, you can get it at most chemists. And I'm just going to get a angled brush again, and I'm just going to dip into this color right here, very lightly, and just smile and put it on the cheeks. Obviously you put it on the cheeks. You put it on the bulbs of your cheeks and just brush it on. You don't want to go too heavy, you don't want to look like a clown, but it just softens it that little bit. The next step that you're going to quickly do is I'm going to grab my fan brush because I don't want anything too heavy. A lot of makeup artists don't use fan brushes, I don't know why, but I find, especially for people with really thin faces, they're good because they are flat, so you can really hit the cheekbones and the high points of the face. So I'm just going to quickly dip into here and just run it right on the cheekbone here. Just like that. Put a little bit on the tip of your nose, and then I actually, when I'm trying to be really quick, I just grab the top of it and I run it down the center just like that, just to give you a little bit of highlight on the bridge of that nose and on your cupid's bow. Now what I find is when I've done all those steps, I just go back to my fluffy brush and I just blend it all in. And that's done. So now's the time I normally go in with my mascara. For some reason I never do it once I've done my eyes. I don't know why. Just habit, I guess. So today I'm going to be using the Cheetah Mascara by The Balm. I think it's a really nice day-to-day mascara. It's not too heavy, but it definitely gives you coverage. So I just go from the bottom and you wiggle up. just to give your lashes that lift. And because we're not doing false lashes or anything today, you want to get as much lift as possible. So like I said, go in at the base and then you're just going to twist it and then wiggle, 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 wiggle. Because you don't want them to get clumpy, but you want volume, okay? One mistake a lot of people make is they do this with their mascara. Don't do that. Always twist in and twist out. Otherwise you're going to get air and bacteria and it's just going to dry out. And then I just put a really, really, really light coat on the outer bottom lashes. Just to open up the eyes a little bit. Another tip that I'm going to give you to look put together pretty quickly is to always put a colour on your lips. So you don't need to go red or orange or anything too much, but something that's like a nude but with a little bit of depth to it will bring your look together. I'm going to use a liquid lip by Colourpop today. It is called Monday and it is long lasting and it's not drying on the lips, and that's what you want. You don't want anything you need to line and you need to touch up during the day. So something like this is perfect. So I feel like that really tied my makeup in together. And obviously the last step is to use your setting spray. My favorite one day to day is the Australis setting spray, but I've run out of it. It is just a really refreshing spray. But obviously, if you want something with a little bit more hold, I would definitely recommend to go to your MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus. This you can't go wrong with. You can use it day to day and you can use it for a night out. Just give it a little bit of a shake. So this will just make sure that your foundation and your makeup stays in place and you don't have that sort of coating of powder on your face if you have accidentally gone too heavy. So that's the look. So guys, this is the final look. With a little bit of practice and no talking in between, this look should only take you about 5 minutes. Now that I've had a baby, I don't have more than 5 minutes to do my makeup to get out the door, and I can put this together in 5 minutes. Yes, I'm a makeup artist, but there's no technical skill in doing what I've just done now. You don't need high-end products, and as I said, you don't need a lot of skill to do what I just did. It is literally just practice, getting it on in the right order, and you can look put together. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would love to do more makeup tutorials in the future. I would love to go in depth with you a little bit more about how to create different looks. But as I said, if you love this video, give it a big thumbs up. Please comment down below any looks that you would like to see. Also, if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell button next to it so you don't miss a video of mine. But thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me. Until next time, take care and look after yourself. Bye bye.